Welcome, welcome. This is the Diana Wright Show live, and we thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. And we have a great show for you to talk about just about lots of things in the news, health issues, some good things to tell you, because where we start, as we always start, the power of the word L-O-V-E. It's the most powerful word on the planet, I think. And the most three powerful words that you can say to yourself is I love me. Yes, those are the three most powerful words that you can arm yourself with every single day of your life. And as you teach your children to do the same thing, it only strengthens you, strengthens them, give them more self-esteem and self-confidence and trust in themselves and their own instincts. And always listen to that small voice that speaks to us. And sometimes we don't listen, and then when we go back, we realize that that small voice was actually the voice we needed to listen to. So as I journey through my detox, courtesy of Rad Wellness Center in Plantation, with the head, what I call him now, my big brother, because that's a voice you hear every single morning saying, come on now, you can do this. I know I can do this. And of course, this is my 4th day on the detox program by Rad Wellness Center in Plantation, Florida. Of course, for those of you who are watching me from around the world, you may be wondering, where on earth is she talking about? Plantation? Plantation, Florida. Sunny Florida, who, you know, of course, it's sunny, but it's still chilly. Okay, so this is my 4th day, and yesterday I'm happy to report I was not hungry at all. So as you probably think of taking this journey with me, or consider taking the journey yourself, it is a wonderful thing to be cleansed. You cannot know the things that are coming out of you, courtesy of the 21-day detox that Rad Wellness Center has for you. So if you are planning to want to cut your appetite and your cravings, I promise you, if it worked for me, it can work for you. Cravings of no sugar, cravings of no carbs. Well, yes, those are things that we all crave at some point, wanting just that little piece of bread. Well, the plan allows you to eat Ezekiel bread. Yes, that's the bread that I used to give my daughter. She doesn't eat it anymore because I'm trying to get her out of the bread phase. But, you know, sometimes your body calls for a little carb here and there. And I guess because I am one of those people who don't believe in deprivation, once you finish the detox, you listen to your body, as Big Brother Dax will tell you. Food is not the thing that you should always be thinking about. And in my past and in my life, I only eat when I'm hungry. And to my surprise, that's what Rad Wellness is preaching to you. Only eat when you're hungry. Don't listen to those people who tell you, oh, it's 11:30 on the job and it's time for lunchtime. Suppose you're not hungry at 11:30 or 12 or 1 for that matter. Suppose you're not hungry at all. If you're not hungry, don't eat. But always, as Rad Wellness informs you to do, and the voice of Dax tells you every morning, you must drink your water, because the water is the magic that flushes your system. So I take this journey, and I invite you to take the journey with me, because I never ever endorse anything that I've not tried and works for me. It has to work for me to tell you about it. It's a very disciplined plan. I'll tell you that much. You have to be ready to do certain things. My husband asked me if my new address was the bathroom. So that's just a clue to tell you the things you need to do. Okay? But anyway, when Dax joins us tomorrow morning, we will go deeper into this whole 21 detox thing. I'm only doing it for 10 days because I don't have a lot of weight to lose. And I'm holding their feet to the fire. If I don't lose them 7 pounds come Monday, Dax will be in trouble, I promise you. But anyway, all the signals are showing that he will not be in trouble. So I invite you to come on the journey with me to detox, to take care of your body. I actually feel and look a little younger this morning when I looked in the mirror. I thought to myself, wow, this detox thing is kind of coming along with my prayer for the blessing of Sarah to be eternally young inside and out. That's my prayer to God, one of my blessings that I pray for every day. So I think Rad Wellness is just kind of helping me to get there a little faster. Even though God is supernatural and works out things instantly, you never know what a little earthly help can do for you. So I welcome you once again to the Diana Wright Show, and this is a day that you will be inspired. You will be encouraged to love yourself and expect the best for yourself. Whatever you do, you should do it in excellence. Teach your children to aspire to excellence in everything they do and they take on. And whatever project you start, make sure you finish it, unless there is no way to end it, or it ended itself for you. Always. I always say to myself or tell people that I have completitis, because I just believe that anything I start, I must complete. Otherwise, something is wrong with me. So, you don't have to be as crazy as I am, but completing a task is an important lesson to teach your children and for you to do yourself. What are my words of power for this week? The power of the word hope and the power of the word love that I preach every single day on this program, The Diana Wright Show. So, as we try to move you out of that hole that you're in, the thing that you think is so big that no one can take care of it but you have to remember that there's a bigger supernatural power called God through his son Jesus that will take you out of anything that you're in. It might be not, or it might not be on your schedule. But trust me, it will be on God's schedule. So, what's on your mind today? What are you depressed about today? What are you desperate about today? What are you thinking that you have no end to today? I am here to encourage you that that thing is only as big as you make that thing to be. Because the bigger supernatural power can take care of that big thing. But you must stay prayed up and faithed up and believe in yourself and the supernatural one. To know that you know that that problem, whatever it is, can be solved and can be taken care of. So am I saying to you that your problem is small? Absolutely not. Your problem is insignificant? Absolutely not. Because every problem is a problem to the person who has that problem. And every problem for that individual who is enduring the problem believes that that problem is the biggest problem in the world. But as we take a breath and take time to think about someone else's problem, we quickly learn that our problem is not that big at all. So, as I once again welcome you to the Diana Wright Show from around the world and in the United States, wherever you are on this planet, as long as you have a computer, you can indeed log on to dianawrighttv.webs.com. And if you are looking for the program that you missed, you simply go to dianawrighttv.webs.com, go to the bottom of the page, click on the YouTube icon, and you will get the show you missed for that day or the day before or the week before. Because we want to inspire you to be the best you that you can be. But the beginning of the journey is simply loving yourself. Getting up every morning, saying to yourself, I love me. And if you need to say it 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, I don't care. You just have to get there. And I hope you all around the world and in the United States will get there by April 30th, the day that I have declared the International I Love Me Day, courtesy of the Diana Wright Show. Because that's simply what I want for you. Because I have it for myself. I've taught it to my daughter. And when you read my book, Deadly Negligence, that's coming out soon, you will see the reason why I'm so persistent and so insistent on you taking on those 3 little words. I love me. And teaching your children to love themselves. It's important. It's crucial. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself and your family. And if you have a friend that might be going through something today, whatever it is, call them up, cheer them up, and just remind them of the 3 little words. I love me. And then you can add to it that God loves you too, or Jesus loves you too. Yes, you can. We always can. As I always tell my daughter from she's a little person, because I just call her a little people when she was younger. I can, I always can. So hope and love, the 2 words of this week. Don't forget the ones for last week. Happiness, joy, and peace. That's where I would like for each and every one of you to be. Because despite all my tragedies and all my problems, that's where I am. That's where I've prayed and asked God to be, and being in that spot, in those places, is truly an amazing experience and make you realize that the world is indeed a wonderful world. And life is actually beautiful and can be beautiful. Step away from the anger and the pain. Step away from the hate and the hypocrisy and the jealousy and the envy. Step away. Step away today. Move away. Put them behind you the way you put Satan behind you, because that's where they belong. Come into the realm of forgiveness and hope and love. So where do we start today? I would like to read you another quote from this wonderful book that I have had for a while. I've interviewed the author when I was on Mystic 1580, when I did lots and lots of reviews, book reviews for authors, because I ended up with tons of books in my house. Anyway, it simply says, and this is by John Lancaster Spalding, keep yourself alive by throwing day by day fresh currents of thoughts and emotion into the things you have come to do from habit. Great saying, great thing for you to remember for the day as you go through your day and you think about what you need to do for yourself. Don't forget, they say, the psychologists and the psychiatrists tell you that 21 days is all it takes to get a new habit. So if it takes 21 days for you to get well through wellness and detox, through Rad Wellness Center, 21 days is all it takes to change your mindset. Because if you want to change your life, everyone tells you, you must change your mind. So if you want to change your life, you simply have to start with 3 little words. I love me. So join me on the crusade of I love me. I call it my I love me crusade. Join me on the journey as I take you to a better place, a better heart, a better place that you will find love, joy, peace, happiness, abundant health, abundant wealth, and prosperity. Simply. That's it. So let me begin, because every morning before I sit in this chair and speak to you, I listen to quite a few preachers. The one that seemed to resonate with me most is T.D. Jakes. And for the past 2 days, he's been talking about something that's crucial, that's important for you to remember. Jesus wept. And when did Jesus weep in the Bible? He wept before he raised his friend Lazarus from the dead. So he's warning each and every one of you ladies out there that if you meet a man that cannot weep, cannot cry, because he's too masculine to do so, you need to reconsider that relationship and that connection. Because it's not weak for men to cry, because Jesus wept. And who is more powerful? Who is more supernatural? Who can do all things but Jesus? And he wept. So men, I'm appealing to you today. I never like to leave you out, because I don't want you to think that I hate guys, because I don't. I love guys. As a matter of fact, I like to have guys as my friends than women, because women are very catty. Men tend to not be so much. So, have you thought to yourself that you're too masculine to cry? That's a wrong thought. You need to erase that thought from your memory, from your mind, from your spirit, from your soul, and induce a new thought. Jesus wept. Because if you know and remember that Jesus wept, you will know that there's nothing wrong with your masculinity if you cry. Yes, I said it. And women, watch out for those guys who are too tough to cry and kind of rebuke you if you start crying about things. I will cry just by watching a movie. So, speaking from experience, crying for me comes easy. That just tells you where my heart is. A gentle place, a gentle touch. Keep that in mind as you go about your day. Also, you can always win when God is in it. When God is in your plan, the plan wins. So keep that in mind also. And the verse that really gets you to keep on track, I remember during my tragedy, Joan, a friend called and said, go to this psalm. And when I went there, it simply said, weeping may last for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And then it went down and it talked about God will turn your mourning into dancing. And it clicked, and I've never forgotten it. But then again, there's a part of that you need to remember though. Because joy doesn't just come in the morning. Your weeping in the night could last for a very long time. And there could be hell in the hallway getting to the morning. Because there is, and it was hell, with the weeping through the night. But joy did come in the morning. So I'm not here to tell you that your joy will come tomorrow. Because the journey from the night of mourning to the joy in the morning, there's a long corridor, hallway of hell to get you to that place. So let's be realistic about the journey, but let's take the journey and never ever give up on the journey and the person you're trying to fix or heal. So I encourage you to continue the journey and simply never give up, because you just don't know what God's plan is for your life or for your children's life, or how it will manifest. And as I always say, I will continue to thank and be grateful to my friend, my brother, the brother I never had, Dr. Anthony Blackwood of Alive Christian Center, who about 2 years or more ago started his own webcast, called me up and wanted me to speak and join with him. And I did. And he promised that he will show me the way to find my own webcast and set up my own webcast. And he kept his promise. So I will be grateful continuously and keep on thanking him, because I never forget kindness of anyone who has been kind to me. Even if they're not speaking to me, or, I still give them credit. And when you read my book, you will see I give everyone credit for the role they played in my journey of tragedy and devastation. Yes. And it's not my journey alone, as you will find out. It's just that I was the head of getting that journey to come to the place of joy in the morning. So, now that I've made you sad and tears in your eyes because you're wondering what on earth did Diana go through so bad, you got to wait for the book, Deadly Negligence. And if you want to pre-order the book, you can just call me and give me your name, address, and phone number, and I will certainly make you aware of the day that the book is available. Don't forget the number here, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. And we will always ask you to love us on Facebook. I'm not going to ask you to like me. I'm about love, simply. That's it. So love me on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up, The Diana Wright Show. And don't forget to tell a friend and spread the word of the program, because I know it will create in you an urge to love yourself and be a better you, and teach your children to do the same. All right, just reminding you, coming up this evening, we have Dr. Melanie. She'll join us and we'll talk about various issues in the medical field, because she is a general practitioner. You don't find a lot of those people anymore. She will join us this evening at 8. So we encourage you to be part of the program and listen for important things that we're going to talk about to keep you on the healthy track. Because if we're not healthy, and if we're not taking care of ourselves, and if we're not loving ourselves, life can be truly brutal and miserable. All right? So, let's go and, kind of journey into the news right now and talk about Prop 8. Today is the big day. The big day. But I find it so interesting. I'm not going to talk too much about Prop 8 and, what the Supreme Court is supposed to be trying to do today. This week is the big week for the Supreme Court as it concerns Prop 8. But I find myself wondering, how does California, the state that trends begin all the time? I used to live there. I love it. My favorite state in the union. But all of a sudden, they find themselves on the back end. They find themselves behind in this whole journey of gay marriage. They're playing catch up. Because if you remember, I think it was 5 years ago, the court there ruled that no gay marriage. So hey, the issue is with the Supreme Court today and this week. I promise you, they said people were there lining up and making their house basically since last week, since Thursday. People were there at the Supreme Court in Washington, lining up, setting up their spot for this big week at the Supreme Court. So we'll watch it and see what happens. I am neither here to say people should marry if they're man and man or woman and woman. Simply, you do what makes you happy. Because when the day of judgment comes, individually, we must speak for ourselves. No one else will speak for you, not your pastor, not your friend, not your mother, not your daddy. You will speak for yourself. So I stand in judgment of no one. But know that everyone needs to find their own happiness, their own truth, and their own life plan to create a better place on this earth and this planet for themselves. I go to this story, Amanda Knox, with a little trepidation. Why? Because it's not so much about Amanda Knox and the fact that the Italian Supreme Court has ordered her to be retried for the murder of her roommate in 2007. The lesson I took from this is that when young people are separated from their parents to go to college, whether it's overseas or up in the same state, but they're not at home, those young people have to be very grounded, very solid, very loving themselves, very not looking for someone to love them, very self-confident and filled with self-esteem. Those young people have to be strong and know exactly who they are. And as parents, you need to recognize that. Because I believe that a parent, a loving family, sent Amanda Knox to Italy to learn, to grow, to experience another culture. And her roommate, who is British, whose name is, did I write her name down? I think, yes, Meredith Kercher. That's her name. She's British. They went there to study. And I always wonder about these young people who go away to college. Do they understand the sacrifices that their parents make to get them in that place? Wherever it is, whether it's overseas or here in the United States, or wherever their home is. Are they recognizing, are parents sitting down and having a proper conversation with these children before they board the planes or before they drive them on the journey and drop them off? That what you're about to embark on is a big, bad world. But you have to stay grounded and remember, stay committed to what you are there for. You're there to study. You're not there to find love from a boy or a girl. The objective of going to college, especially if you are not at home, is to learn, to increase your mind and study. It's not about going there to find a boyfriend or see how many bars you can go to or how many parties and drink as much liquor as you can because you couldn't do that at home. So the Amanda Knox story hits me in a different way. It hits me to say, what on earth was she thinking? Her parents, I'm sure, sacrificed to send her to Italy. Not a lot of young students get that opportunity. Some of us don't even know that there are American universities in Italy and all of Europe, in France. My daughter applied to 2 of them and got accepted. But of course, when it comes down to the going, as a family, can you separate as a unit? My daughter is choosing not to separate, even though she got accepted and wants to go. She will wait until later, when maybe, just maybe, we all can be there. Because I always had this dream of living in Europe, so I put it out there. France or Italy, Germany. Any one of those 3 I'll take. Yeah, always had hopes of living in Europe, because that's one of my dreams that I've just not pursued yet. Been there several times, but not pursued the living part. And believe me and trust me, I will be there, and the Diana Wright Show will go with me. Now that Dr. Blackwood has turned me on to the greatest thing on the planet. So I can do the show from any place, anywhere. Doesn't matter. But I would like to reach out to parents who are sending their children off to college, whether it be here or around the world. It doesn't matter. You need to have that conversation and make sure they understand the reason they're going there. And you just don't need to have that conversation in a willy-nilly, joking kind of way. It has to be a serious conversation. And they must understand that it's not about going to Italy to drink and party and find a man and have sex and do all the things you can't do at home. It's about going to a new country to learn its culture, to open your mind, to try the foods and the various things and stuff that is normally there for you to absorb. So, I weep for the parents of Amanda Knox, mom and dad. Because I'm sure even though they're putting on the face of support for their daughter, in the back of their mind, in their subconscious, they must be saying, girl, why did I send you to Italy? Why did I agree to you going there? Yes, she might have been, 18 and she can make her own decisions. But trust me, 18-year-olds, they don't know anything. A very few 18-year-olds are mature enough to go away to college, do their thing, stay focused, and do not get involved in drugs and partying and alcohol. Not many. And they're there. They're going to, a lot of schools are not party schools. And there's a list right now. I'll bring it to you later. There's a list of schools who are just not taking on this enjoyment thing. You didn't go to school to enjoy yourself. You went there to get a degree, to study, to learn, to expand your mind. So why are all these children? I know of a dad whose daughter was an A student, honor student, know everything, got every award, went to college. They used to call and talk every weekend. All of a sudden, she no longer called home because she was afraid to tell her dad, who worshipped her, that she's now pregnant. How do you get pregnant? That's not what you're there for. And if you're stupid enough to be having sex when you're supposed to be studying, how about wearing a condom? How about that? And even if you're not worried about getting pregnant, how about wearing a condom? Let him wear a condom because he might have some kind of chlamydia, gonorrhea, or any STDs that's out there, including AIDS, the big one. So why are you not telling your daughters to do that? And why are you not telling your sons to keep their penis in their pants? And telling your daughters that the reason God placed their vajayjays all the way there, where no one can get to it, is because it's supposed to be sacred. And now that we're living in this open society where gay marriage is accepted and all those other things, we need to get with it, parents, and stop. telling me you don't want to talk to your daughter about sex and your sons about sex. You must. And don't try to fix the problem when the horse is already in the gate and the gate is locked behind them, because there's already a fetus in the oven called the belly. So as I think about Amanda Knox, it truly gets me weeping for her parents. And yes, they are going to support them because it is your child and you must support them. And you need to. But we must start having a conversation with our children about sex. Oral sex is indeed sex. Don't tell me it's not, because it is. And you shouldn't be doing it. You should hear the things I tell my daughter about that. Whoopsie. My girlfriends tell me that I'm brainwashing my kid. No, I'm not. I'm just being open, just being frank and letting you know that when you leave me, if you turn out to be nothing or crazy or do crazy things, I did my best. I gave you all that I got. And what I didn't have, I researched and gave it to you. So don't tell me, parents, that you're afraid to talk to your children. They are having bigger conversations than you could ever have with them at school. And it doesn't matter if they're 4 or 5 or 3. As long as they can speak, they are talking about this. So teach your children the importance of commitment, the importance of staying focused on your goals, and being true to who you are. Stop falling prey to peer pressure. Don't tell me about peer pressure, because trust me, I was there. I experienced it as a youngster myself. There is no friend that I've ever had that never drank alcohol. And I was always with them, but I never drank alcohol. Because I decided Diana Wright will not be drinking alcohol. Why? My mother had a business, and that business constituted a bar. And as a youngster, I would see all those drunken men in the bar talking a whole lot of crap. Do you hear me? They did. So I decided that alcohol would not be in my journey of life. And people, they tease me. Oh, I've gotten ostracized for it. I go out and I order orange juice. Who knows that vodka is not in it? And now my drink of choice is water with lemon. And that's cool enough for me. And I do truly believe and wish that I was living in a society that is as open as it is right now, because I would have known all the things I needed to know about sex. So why aren't we taking the opportunity as parents to tell and teach our children about sex? If you don't want to do it, go to the library, get the book, and sit and open and show the pages. Point. If you're so scared to speak. Because if it wasn't for sex, none of us would be here. There had to have been an encounter with a man and a woman to bring us to this earth as children, as people, as adults. So let us get out of the phase that we're scared to talk to our children about sex, because anytime you think of that, remember Amanda Knox, who went to Italy to learn about the culture of Italy, the people of Italy, the food of Italy, and all Italian. After 1 year, she was speaking the language fluently, which is what I hope for each and every one of your children, that they could go to another country and speak the language within a year. Some do it in 6 months, some 3 months. Because when you heard her speak speak to the judge, as she did at her trial, in Italian, no doubt. I was proud of her. So why couldn't she have just did what she should have done? And I'm sure her parents gave her the guidance. I'm sure they did. They probably just didn't do it in a detailed form as I probably would, because I'm very graphic and very explanation minded. Because I like to explain and I like for you to listen. And I am a listener. I will listen to you. I will weep with you. But you must keep up your end of the bargain. And the bargain was to go to Italy, not to have a boyfriend and drink liquor and party. And I bet you, if Amanda Knox and her roommate Meredith Kircher were doing what their parents sent them to Italy to do, they would not. Meredith would not be dead right now. And Amanda Knox would not be facing a retrial ordered by the Supreme Court of Italy. So how do we need to get to parents to say to them, please, if it's possible for you to move to where your children are going to go to college. I don't buy into this thing where people talk about, oh, you have to break the bond at some time. You got to let them fly. Give them eagle wings. I ain't giving my daughter no eagle wings to go fly nowhere. Okay? And you shouldn't give your daughter or your sons that eagle wings to go fly on their own either. Because at 18 years old and 17, which some of them start college even at 16, they are absolutely not ready to be on their own. I don't care what you tell me as an expert. You lie. Because when they are 20, they're still dumb. They still don't even know what they're doing. Yes, you have some teenagers who are very smart and they do things and they create things and they become millionaires, like the young man that Yahoo has made a millionaire. But he still has to rely on his parents because he still doesn't know the basics of life because he's still a child. So let us think about Amanda Knox with a deeper sense of purpose and why she is where she is at this point. So she says, she slammed the prosecutors in a statement and vowed to fight on. Knox is now 25 and is living in Seattle. You know what they used to call her in Italy in the newspapers? Foxy Knoxy. That was her nickname. A nickname that was given to her, I guess, by the press in Italy, the Italian press, the Italian media. That's so sad, isn't it? A bright young woman who had the whole world at her feet. One is dead and one continues to be tried for what happened. Now the drug dealer is actually in prison, serving, I think, a 16-year prison sentence. And the other young man involved, he was acquitted also. But as I always say on the show, if you're not, when you're going to do something, think it through. Don't tell me you can't think it through, because you can. I said to you, if you're on the bed and the guy is on top of you, you still have time to think before the act actually happens. And when you realize, push him off, jump up, take up your shoes and your clothes and run for cover. So you can. But I always ask young people, and adults too, because adults just do the craziest, darndest things that you wonder, how stupid can you be? So whatever you're going to do in this life, anything, I don't care how small or how big it is, make sure you have the word consequence written somewhere on that page. And if you can deal and live with the consequences of what you're about to do, then go ahead and do it. But when you evaluate, if you cannot live with the consequences of what you wrote down or what you plan to do, I beg you, I command you not to do it. Because in the end, you will find out you've made a major boo-boo, a major mistake. And sometimes you just can't get it back, like Amanda Knox. Do you think she can get it back? No, she can't. She cannot go back to the day that she left her parents on that plane to Italy with her innocence and her excitement of that journey to learn about a new place, a new country. She can't get it back. It's gone. And sometimes when we think and when we put our brain in gear and when we love ourselves first, we will know that what we're about to do is not the right step to take. Because you see, consequences are there. It's going to happen. No matter what it is, it's for you to make that choice about what you're going to do and the consequences you're willing to pay. The price you're willing to pay. And we know life is hard. And I know that life can be difficult. And I know that life can be painful. Tell me about it. I've been there. And I know you might not have a father. I don't have one either. At least I have one, but I don't know who he is. And I don't take or ask for any sympathy for that. No, I don't. When I was younger and people used to talk about their dads, ooh, Father's Day is coming and this and that, and I just exited the conversation. That's it. Without giving it a second thought, I just exited. Made myself invisible. Because I just didn't have anything to say. Okay? So, wherever you are, the key is to have hope. The key is to love yourself first. The key is to never give up. I don't know how many ways I can say that, but I will continue to say it until you get it. And once again, I welcome you from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show, live online. And a nice, good story for you now. Can you imagine that in the face of so many people unemployed in the United States and around the world, global employers are having problems finding workers? Who knew? The problem is, workers simply don't have the technical skills to match the jobs that are available. So what are we going to do about this? President Obama is crying for us to invest in teaching young people trades and skills that match the jobs that are available. In Germany, they will teach one young person to do 3 different jobs in one company. So just in case they get downsized from one sector of the company, they move to the next sector of the company. Yeah. So why is it that the richest nation on earth, the greatest nation on earth, which is these United States of America, is not willing to do what the president is asking them to do? Simply because there are some crazies from the Tea Party in the Republican Party in Congress blocking everything? Have you ever wondered what the Tea Party is for? They talk about smaller government, but I am here to tell you, and I will guarantee you, that all of those Tea Partiers who are out there demonstrating and are in Congress blocking everything, they're not giving up their Medicare and their Social Security when their time comes. I promise you that. And if they're downtrodden and need a little helping hand from the government, They're not going to refuse the Medicaid and the food stamps. They will not. I am here to tell you that, looking directly into the eye of the camera, and tell you they will not. So why are they trying to deprive everyone else? The president has come up with these ideas and these great programs to teach young people to learn skills to match the jobs available. And here it is. 10 of the world's largest economies say extended job openings that remain vacant have resulted in lower revenue and productivity and the inability to grow their businesses. Technical fields like information technology and engineering, of course, are the positions hardest to fill. No wonder, my husband is an engineer. He can always find a job. Other areas include sales, customer service, research development, production, creative design, and marketing. And some of the countries that have the most jobs that need to be filled: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. They are the countries with the most job openings. And they are called the BRIC countries. Of course, BRIC simply means Brazil for B, Russia for R, I for India, C for China. So if anyone says to you, oh, the BRIC countries, you know what it is now. Because, you know, sometimes people just like to throw out acronyms and not tell you what they mean. So BRIC, B-R-I-C, simply means the countries Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Next on the list of job opening places, Germany, Japan, the United States of America, France, the UK, and Italy. So if you need a job, start looking. Don't close your mind. Going overseas might be a good experience for you and your children. And you just might find that another country, going there to live for a while, is a good thing. It makes you appreciate the things you have in America more. You know, the big refrigerator, the big spaces, because I promise you, when you go to Europe, sometimes you can find big spaces, but most of the times you have a tiny refrigerator because they shop on a daily basis. And that's one of the things I love about living in Paris or Italy or wherever. You shop every day. You don't shop and store things up in your refrigerator. And they use a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables in their cooking. And of course, you know, the French, they will always have their bread in their hand on their way home with their bottle of wine. So, as we go into the journey with Dax again tomorrow, we will want to talk about some of those things. Some of the things that we don't do here, but we need to do for our health. I tried it one time and my mom thought I was crazy because I was running to the store every single day to buy things because I went to France and I was so impressed with that part of their living, their lifestyle. And I just thought it was great. And then when I moved to California, it is basically done in California. You can actually do that in California easily because there are lots of fruits and vegetables in abundance on a daily basis. Isn't it better to buy your chicken and it's not frozen and go home and cook it that day? Or buy your fish or your beef or your pork or whatever you cook, or your lamb. No horse meat. Or your horse meat and your buffalo meat and your alligator meat. Oh. You can, you know, I think it's so much better to go and buy it and cook it that same day. It's just better than to put it in the freezer, take it out, thaw it, and then cook it. Season it and then cook it. Anyway, that's just my little advice for you. So if you'd like to live a better lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle, you need to join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 when Dax Dunn from Rad Wellness Center in Plantation, Florida will join me. He'll be my special guest. And come this evening, my special guest will be Dr. Melanie. Actually, Dr. Melanie is the only female on my team of experts that I've spoken to so far. Not cool, not right. Need to find me some more female pastors, female doctors, female everything. Need to find you. Need for you to come on. The women just seem to be a little shy, I think. And none is bolder than that because everybody wants to go by phone. Nobody wants to go on Skype. What's wrong with you? But then again, my good friend, real estate attorney Evan Rosen, he will go on Skype because he's brave enough. He is one of those young attorneys that's sharp at every edge and will get you what you need to get and where you want to go. And he gets mad too when you're not getting what you were supposed to get. He gets mad with the people. Great attorney. So he'll be joining me at the 8 o'clock hour on Thursday. So there you go. We have, a pretty decent lineup for this week, and we'll try to have a better one next week and the next week and the next week. It's not about where we start, it's where we're going. And I'm looking at that finish line, and it looks like millions and millions of people are watching the Diana Wright Show live online at 10:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. and telling their friends, their families, and their coworkers to join the conversation and watch. It simply means you log on to my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. And if you miss a show, don't forget, go down to the bottom of the page, click on the YouTube icon, and you're there. Pick the show. I think we've done, 78 shows already? 79, I think today is. So we're getting there. We'll have a big celebration when we get to 100. Whew! What is that going to be? Maybe you have some suggestions. I don't. I'm not the party type anymore. No, I never was, actually. Yeah. But anyway, Dr. Melanie will join us tonight, and we will have lots of questions for her. I don't want to tell you some of the questions because I have them written down, and I want you to wait until this evening so you get some of your answers. Also, 9 healthy foods to make you happy. I should have read this last week in my happiness week, because last week was happiness, but happiness, joy, and peace is continuous. You must just put them all together because they all encompass my journey, my crusade, my I Love Me crusade. I think I'm going to whip out my DVD, my CD rather, of the I Love Me song and play it at some point here, but I don't have a video to go with it. So that's one of the reasons I haven't played it yet. But I'll find a way. I'll figure out a way to do it for you. So the 9 foods to make you happy. I'm sure Dax will like to hear this. Dark chocolate. Who doesn't love dark chocolate? I do. I love it. Salmon. Now, salmon seems to come up in every single thing, whether it's happiness, losing weight, having a healthy lifestyle, best foods for energy, or whatever. Salmon seems to hit the mark every time. So for those of you who don't eat fish, I'm sorry. Spinach, another powerhouse. Chicken, lots of you like chicken. Tofu, lots of you like tofu. Everybody likes tofu in my house but me. It's great because I cook it. It takes on the flavor of anything you put on it. But I don't know. I think I have to learn to acquire that texture. It just doesn't move me the right way. Avocados, great, great, great. Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt, but I try not to consume too much because my body, calcium is my issue. I am not burning out that calcium, so I can't eat too much of it. But Greek yogurt is absolutely delicious. Green tea. I'm on my green tea journey. Drank my green tea yesterday, part of my detox program. So I encourage you to drink that green tea, and it will make you happy. All right, and berries, of course. I bought me some blackberries under the advisement of my counselor, my trainer, my whatever you call her, Edith. Edith asked me what berries I like, and I told her I love I love all the berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. But the raspberries, they just get rotten in a minute. You buy them at the store today, you better eat them before tomorrow, because they will be no good the next day. So they're quite delicate, raspberries, but they're good for you. So I love it. I love raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. But right now, I'm doing the blackberry thing. Because I was a little tired of the blackberries and the strawberries. And I love cherries, but I'm told that cherries have lots and lots of carbs. But it's also a good thing for you, good antioxidant. So those are the foods that will make you happy, and hope that you will stay happy until you see me again at 8 this evening, when my special guest will be Dr. Melanie. That's what she's affectionately called, Dr. Melanie. And she'll be here with us. She's a general practitioner, and she will take you on the health journey on a more medical level. So I have some questions for her. We're going to talk about some things that are absolutely good for you. I will give you a little teaser. The new thing and the new way to recognize that someone has a stroke. And I will thank my husband for sending me that email. Thank you, honey, for sending me that email about the stroke. Looking at someone's tongue is now the new thing to figure out if they're having a stroke. And just maybe you can save their lives. So you need to listen this evening at 8 when I get into it with Dr. Melanie. She can take on any questions, you see, because she's a GP, general practitioner. You don't find them a lot these days. So when you find one, you cherish that one that you find. Not many of them. I don't even know if you can find. Dr. Melanie is the only one I actually know. Everyone else has a specialty. So we will have a nice conversation with her this evening at 8 inside the Diana Wright Show live online. Reminding you that life is beautiful. Keep saying the 3 little words, I love me. Teaching your children to love themselves and say those 3 little words every single day. Have yourself a blessed, wonderful, super day. And I look for you back here at 8 this evening when we talk to Dr. Melanie. She will join us, the general practitioner. Remember, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. April 30th, International I Love Me Day. Declared and created by the Diana Wright Show, live online. So, as I say to you, au revoir, adios, ciao, goodbye, and stay prayed up and stay loving who you are. Oh, this way, so you can see. The Diana Wright Show is on there. Okay. Alrighty, let's